What if I say there was gonna be an update in old school RuneScape that would completely revolutionize the entire game? Everything you know about the game that you loved for years and years would be gone in the blink of an eye. Every mechanic you learned, every skill you trained, every monster you attacked and the drop you got from it. All vanished and every player would have to start from fresh. It sounds like a paradise, right? Does that excite you? Does that scare you? Are you annoyed that this dude who looks like a cartoon villain is talking too much right now? I promise you, it's all gonna be worth it. Because the update I'm talking about was actually all possible at one point in time. Or at least there was a dream of that happening. And we don't have to go far back to see it. Last year there was a game jam where one of the lovely developers, Nin, came up with an idea. The idea revolves around the fact that everything in old school RuneScape is randomized, and I mean everything. Let's talk about it. We all know how the world of old school RuneScape works by this point. Chop trees for wood, buy tinder boxes at the general store, milk cows for milk. You know, the basic stuff. But what if everything you knew was wrong? The old school RuneScape randomizer would see the whole game turned on its head. Chopping trees gets you nothing but burned sharks, shops sell medium glue caskets, and tinder boxes are only obtainable from fishing. Lumbridge is overrun with dagonots and hitting them with your sword grants you smithing experience. And the cows, the cows. Somehow they acquired a piece of the map to Grandar. The idea of this is to change everything you know about this game. Now, okay, this is a lot to take in, so let's go over it in more simple terms. Look at this picture. This is a general store in East Ardy. Now, it might look a bit odd when you see the items. We have a full rune set, a void mage helm, undreamed farming cape, we have the abyssal burrs for the rune crafting outfit, and a few quest items that are untradeable in the normal game. Now, this would work with every general store in old school RuneScape, and all of them would have different items. So maybe the Ardoin general store would have a rune set, but the one in Lumbridge has like a twisted bow. Now keep in mind, I went a little bit overboard with this, but if you roll enough dice, the general store RNG could be in your favor. There's also a line you have to draw when you talk about randomness, because at one point it might be too much. Like I talked about abyssal burrows and buying the rune crafting outfit. What if instead of the Gardens of the Rift store only offers dragon bones and you can buy them only with abyssal bursts, and there's gonna be no other way in game to get dragon bones but in this store, which is, it's such a crazy scenario, but that might just happen. My point is, when is too much randomness not good anymore? And also the question that if it's just a fun game mode that is gonna be probably gone in a week and has a lot of bugs in it, then maybe cranking up the randomness to 11 is actually the better option here. And you know what else you should be cranking up? That subscribe button down here. Please consider subscribing, as it helps me out a lot as a creator. Thank you very much. Okay, here's what the creator of this game mode said himself about this. Randomizers have become a popular way to replay familiar old games, and I wanted to see if it was technically possible to make such a thing work in old school RuneScape. There are so many items and NPCs in old school that if they were all randomized, it would take an entire community to figure out even the basic quest. But that's what makes it such a cool concept. Every week your save would be reset and the world re-randomized. Items and NPCs all move to different locations where they stay for everyone for the entire week. And everyone would begin in a new version of Lumbridge, trying to check off tasks on the randomized bingo cards. The idea here is to start completely fresh, and players' intuition and game knowledge is what carries them forwards. You need to think on the spot, you never know what you're gonna get, and essentially you're playing on a completely new version of old school RuneScape every week, because everything you knew so far about the game is kinda thrown out the window. So let's say instead of venom damaging you, it instead heals you now, and players are trying to find a way how to get infinite healing through venom mechanic. One Jagex moderator actually even had the time to try this out, and this is what Mod Goblin said about this gameplay. I can confirm that I spent about 4 hours playing Nin's randomizer game mode and still hadn't figured out how to get my hit points high enough for an Apatow Scorpion to stop one-shotting me repeatedly in Lumbridge Castle courtyard. Nin knocked it out of the park. So we can clearly see that it's definitely fun and it would be welcomed, and he's not the only one. People are supporting this idea wholeheartedly. One person said this: I love the idea of randomizer game mode, just to see the absolute chaos that will be associated with people trying to figure out how to do even the most basic tasks. With how much people theorycraft and optimize everything in old school RuneScape, there's not much creativity and adventure left in the game, aside from the first maybe week or two in leagues. Logging into a game world where nothing makes sense and you can buy a twisted bow from Lumbridge General Store that shoots golden chinchompas you have to grind from Pyramid Plunder would be hilarious. It would be an old school RuneScape content creator goldmine. It would take a ton of community coordination to figure out what obscure shop sells what mobs have what drop tables, where to get experience, and so much more. It is so clear that there will be interest for this. Let me show you one more picture. Here we can see the Ardoin suit. There is a lot going on here. We have anchors, we have random events, we have baby mole, ghost, and much more, all in one enclosure. And this will be just one of the many mind-blowing activities you can see in this game mode. So I talked with Mod Nin himself, the creator of this game mode, and this is what he had to say about it. I've not touched it outside of that game jam. I think it would be a super fun game mode and probably could be something that will be worth running for a week at a time rather than as a full league. There will be definitely some weird technical bugs that arise from it that will be acceptable for a week but problematic for the full duration of a league. It would be hard to ensure that it's not so broken that wouldn't be the case. But yeah, to eliminate that salt aspect of old school RuneScape would be super fun. The exploration aspect is so cool. So clearly even he would be excited to put this update out there in the world. But just like with all good things, let's get ourselves back down to earth and face the reality. This update will never see the light of day. It doesn't matter how awesome it is, we're likely not gonna get it. Firstly, because Mod Nin, the person who works on this game mode, is leaving Jagex next week. Howdy gamers, a little update from me. After 3 years on RS and 3 on Old School RuneScape, I'm sad to be leaving Jagex at the end of this week. The Old School RuneScape team is a culture dedicated to bringing the best out of the game, and a really awesome bunch of people that have all been a pleasure to work with. Yeah, so the developer who came up with this idea and has been working to make it work is now leaving Jagex. Just like we saw with our beloved League developers, most of the people who worked on Leagues in Old School RuneScape have now left the company. So unless Nin gives the code and the workload to someone else in the company, this will never see the light of day, and I am bummed out to say the least. I think without a shadow of doubt, I would say this update will completely revolutionize Old School RuneScape as we know it. And of course, at the start, it could be just a fun little game mode where players can go crazy for a short period of time, maybe even 48 hours, maybe a week. And after it has time to evolve, we could maybe even turn it into a league. I don't know, I'm just like so crazy into this right now. Okay. There have been some other ideas with the same goal, like a random invocation system in Doa that gives you a better chance for rare rewards. And the idea is that you can only put in the raid level you want to do and it randomly picks the invocations for you. This would help give Dooms of a Mascot even more infinite gameplay and reward good game knowledge through dynamic gameplay. There was even an idea to maybe add the same game mode but for Iron Man, but I think we're jumping ahead here, okay. I want to end with this. There are already tons of games out there that have a randomizer mode in them, like Skyrim, like Terraria, like Elden Ring. I mean, even games like Pokemon has a randomizer game mode and it gives the game a new life. Something that we all remember back when we started playing Old School RuneScape. That option to discover new bats, maybe completing Cook's Assistant, now gives you magic experience, which immediately unlocks a new path and so much more. And I think it will be good for Jagex as well, because I guarantee you this is the perfect game mode for content creators on Twitch, YouTube and so much more. I remember when Leagues 2 came out and on day 1 we had almost 100k people watching on Twitch, millions of views on YouTube and so much more. I genuinely think if there was enough advertisement behind this from creators themselves and Jagex, this game mode could break that number. Anyways, what do you guys think? Would you like something like this in Old School RuneScape or not, and why? I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are, but for now, make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed the content and I'll see you all in a few days with another video. I love you all. Bye. Please bring it in, Jagex. I need this, please.